I deleted both my children's numbers from my phone. I was 83 years old. My hands were shaking. And it was the best decision I ever made. I know what you're thinking. What kind of father does something like that? I'll tell you. The kind who spent 2 years calling, texting, leaving voicemails, like a man knocking on a door that was never going to open. The kind who one morning looks in the mirror and doesn't recognize the man staring back. That's how it happens. Slowly, quietly, until one day you realized you've traded your dignity for a text message that says, "Happy birthday, Dad." Sent in the final hours of my birthday. From the 2 sons I gave everything to. It's not being forgotten. It's worse than that. It's being reduced. And I let it happen for 2 years.
My oldest son, Michael, is 54. He lives 38 minutes from my house. I know that because I used to drive there without thinking, to pick up the grandkids from school, to fix the furnace in January, to show up with my toolbox before he even asked, because I'm a father. At least, that's what I thought. My youngest, Daniel, is 51, the softer one. He used to call every Sunday like clockwork. You could have set your watch by that boy. Used to. Now listen carefully, because I think I know why you're watching this. You're sitting in a quiet house right now, and every morning you wake up thinking, today might be the day. Maybe today they'll call. How long have you been telling yourself that? I told myself that for 2 years. 2 years of voicemails.
2 years of thinking of you, son. Call me when you can. And sometimes they did call. Short calls. Careful calls. The kind where you can feel you're taking up their time. And what did I do? I tried harder. Called more. Texted more. That's what we do when something starts slipping away. We grab tighter. It feels like love, but it isn't. I worked in a machine shop for 38 years. I know what a worn-out part sounds like when you force it to keep working. That squeak, that resistance. A smart man sets the tool down and figures out what's broken before he does more damage. I wasn't a smart man. Not yet. Then one evening I called Michael. He didn't answer. I left a voicemail. But my phone was old, the buttons close together, and somehow it played the message back to me 20 minutes later. I sat there and listened to myself. 4 minutes. I thought I sounded calm when I recorded it. Steady. But when I heard it back, underneath every word there was this quiet hum. Not anger, not even sadness. Desperation, wearing a smile. A man knocking so gently, so patiently, he didn't even realize he'd been standing at that door for 2 years. When you hear your own helplessness played back to you, something changes. I wasn't calling to give them anything. I was calling to get something. Reassurance. Proof I still mattered. Proof I was still loved. I had stopped being a person. I had become a need. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Children don't pull away from you. They pull away from pressure. Pressure we don't even realize we're putting on them. That's hard to hear. I know. But if you're honest with yourself, really honest, you can feel it too. That night, I went out to my garage. I've had some of those tools since the 1970s. Everything in its place. Everything with a purpose. And I stood there thinking, when was the last time I felt like this? Like a man with a purpose. Not a father waiting by the window, not someone hoping to be managed. Just,
I deleted them because I needed a wall between my loneliness and their phone numbers. Because you can't force someone to come back by loving them harder. You can only become someone worth coming back to. That difference changes everything. The first few days felt strange. My hand kept reaching for the phone out of habit, like reaching for something that wasn't there anymore. On the 4th day, I called Pete, an old coworker. We'd worked together for 16 years, then life pulled us apart. I hadn't spoken to him in 6 years. He answered on the second ring.
We talked for 2 hours. Nothing important and everything important. He mentioned he'd been trying to fix up an old pickup truck, couldn't get the carburetor right.
I told him I'd come take a look. That Saturday, I spent 4 hours under the hood. I was a little dizzy. I'm not young anymore. But I came home with grease under my fingernails. And that night, I slept deeply. The first real sleep I'd had in 2 years. I know what you're thinking. That's nice, Raymond, but my situation is different. Maybe it is. But answer me this. When was the last time you did something that had nothing to do with waiting? That's the real question. Not why they aren't calling, but what are you doing in the meantime? Waiting or building something? Twice a week now, I volunteer at a vocational school. I teach young people how to use tools properly. Real hands-on work, the kind where at the end of the day you can point to something and say, I made that.